Okay. Hi, Susie. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
Doing great. Thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. Nice to
Great
have
to
you
be
here.
here.
So, we're going to be talking about your books today. Specifically, your new one is called Ascendant. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Before we get to your books, I want to just read the top of your bio and ask you a little bit about this. It says Susy Smith is a celebrated dystopian storyteller, author, and curriculum specialist for the Kanza Tribe in Oklahoma. Let's start with the first one, dystopian. Now, I know a lot of people have heard that word, but what is your definition of dystopian?
A dystopian is a future where that is not normal, not what we would consider normal. It is down. It's been destroyed by something or degraded, downgraded, or however you want to say it.
Yeah, when I think of dystopian, I always think of the aftermath of nuclear war.
Right.
Yeah, and then the remnants of the dark culture and the dark climate and all of that, like in the Matrix, when they went outside of it, right?
Yes, exactly.
Something like that. Okay. Storyteller and author, I'm pretty sure most people know what that is. Curriculum specialist for the Kanza Tribe. What exactly do you do?
I create curriculum in call language for uh,
For the schools?
for the classes that range. I was trying to think of the age ranges, and I it's the school age is basically what I deal with. I personally deal with is school age from grade school to up through high school.
Okay. Are you a teacher?
I am not. I have a bachelor's degree in English, but I did not teach. I did not teach school in a regular school setting.
Is this a tribal school?
It is closer to like immersion classes. It's not a tribal school. The tribe does not own the school. It's after school classes.
Oh,
Like an
I
after school curriculum type thing.
oh I see. But it's in the tribal language.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have no concept of tribal language. What would you compare it to of a language that exists that's something that we might have heard of? Or is it completely unique to any other language?
It's in the it's Degiha Siouan. It's a Siouan language, and I'm sure you've heard of that before. But as far as comparing it to anything, I really didn't take any other foreign language in high school. But um, you conjugate verbs like you do in Spanish. The word order, the sentence word order is completely different. It's actually backwards. The verb in the sentence always comes last.
Oh, I see. Okay. But do you use the ABCD alphabet or do you have your own characters?
We don't have the characters. We did adapt it to the English alphabet.
Okay.
Although we don't use every letter in the English alphabet though.
Well, neither do I. I mean, I can't tell you how few times I use X, you know, except for
Well, yeah, that
Xerox.
and we
Yeah.
actually do use that, and that's a hard, you know, to get the actual authentic sound, you have to kind of speak back here, and I don't do that. We're not, trained to do that, and so to get that X is kind of like a sound is
Oh,
very
okay.
difficult for me to do. So,
All right. So when did you start writing and publishing?
well, I started writing, man. I think I started dinking around, and when I was a teenager, just kind of messing around with stories and stuff like that. But I didn't start publishing till I finished Asylum, and I had been to one of Bill Bernhardt's writing retreats, and I was like, I really don't know what to do with this. I wonder if he would remember me, and he did. And so he said, well, you need to come, come on and we'll talk about it. And so one thing led to another, and it was a really good decision.
So this book, Ascendant, is the second book in the series. The series was the first book called Asylum?
Yes.
Okay. But it's also called the Asylum series, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you give us kind of an overview? Don't give everything away. We want people to buy the book. But
Right.
just give us kind of an overview of what the reader could expect reading your books.
Well, in Asylum, it's a future where the U.S. is controlled by a military-style government. My character, young Lacey Monroe, struggles against evil men and forces of nature to keep her family farm intact. In the process, she provides asylum for a diverse crew of displaced souls who may or may not be trustworthy, and falls in love with the brother of her worst enemy.
Mm.
That's the first one.
That's the first one. Okay, what about the second book?
In the second one, Lacey and Jace, who's the other main character, find themselves on the run from her uncle, which you'll find in the first book who he is. And they're on the run because they don't want to participate with his military. He's on the other side of it and wants to take over the United States, and they're kind of caught in between. And they're on the run from him, and they find themselves in a bad situation.
So the one that she falls in love with and they run away?
Yeah.
Is that okay? All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let me hit on a couple of your talking points here on your bio. It said you found inspiration in The Walking Dead. Was that the movie or the book?
The movies,
Okay.
the movie sets, really, the way the landscape is portrayed, like walking through towns and nobody's there, and that kind of eerie feeling is the same feeling that I hope that I can portray in my writing in these books.
Okay, so this sort of zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, minus sans the zombies.
Okay. How come you picked this particular genre, if you will, to write in? What fascinates you about this?
I think the genre picked me. I didn't sit down and choose it. I actually wanted to be a romance writer, and everything that I write will probably have elements of romance in it. But I'm a realist by nature, and so my brain just could not do the happily ever after thing. So it just kind of, I don't know, it just chose me.
How many books do you anticipate are going to be in this series? Or do you know?
At least 3, and I'm writing the third one now. So we'll see how this one ends
Okay.
up.
When did the first one come out? When did Asylum release?
Asylum released in August of 2021. Ascendant is August of 2023.
Oh, okay. So about one book every 2 years?
Well, I think I'll get this one done.
Quicker?
I hope I have it done by this time next year, so
All right.
it won't be as long.
We got time for maybe 2 more. Let me hit a couple more here. Tips for new writers? Do you have any tips for new writers?
Well, I still feel kind of like a new writer myself. And I think the best advice that I have for new writers is to just keep writing. Don't get discouraged. If you keep doing it, you'll get there. Just believe in what you're writing.
I think sometimes it's hard for writers because once they get it done, Then there's this whole nightmare of publishing, which is a whole completely different realm.
Yes. Oh, yes. There are so many different choices facing an author today. Do I do indie? Do I do traditional? Do I do a small publisher? Do I do a hybrid? Those are things that everybody has to take into consideration. And I feel like no matter what they choose or what you choose, you're going to have to do some of the marketing yourself.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I think even authors I've had on who are well established, they still have to go out and do podcasts and talk shows, and it's not all done for you like it used to be.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's kind of that's gone by the wayside, I feel like.
Yeah, I think those days are over. Let me ask you something about the tribe. Now, are you a member of the Kanza Tribe?
Yes, I am.
You are, okay. It says facts about the tribe that many people don't realize.
Okay. A fun fact.
Fun fact, yeah.
Fun fact about our tribe is the state of Kansas was named after our tribe, after the Kaw tribe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
Wow. It's amazing. The more I say that, it's amazing that, probably the majority of people don't know that.
Now, you're from Oklahoma. The biggest tribe in Oklahoma is Cherokee. Is that correct?
I would imagine, yes.
Yeah. Do you have a specific area, like a nation reservation? I hate to use the word reservation, but like a Kanza Nation area of Oklahoma?
Yes, we're up in north central Oklahoma in Kay County. Is where our reservation ended up being. Originally, the Kaws were from around Council Grove, Council Grove, Kansas, around Topeka, all around that area. Topeka actually is a kind of a interesting spelling, but it came from, that's another call word, which means a good place to dig potatoes. There's another fun fact for you.
Topeka means a good place to dig potatoes?
Yeah, that's
means. Funny. Okay. Last question about tribal life, generally speaking. If you had to pick one particular issue that most affects the Native Americans, what do you think it would be?
Yeah, it's a difficult question to answer. I would think, as a whole, the murdered and missing women, as a whole, would be a huge one.
Okay, you know what I've heard? That I've heard before. I had somebody else on from a different tribe in northern Michigan, and she said the same thing. Okay, so you want to give us a little teaser for the third book? What's going to happen, or do you want to leave that a surprise?
Oh, I better leave that. I don't think I want to say anything.
Don't want to say anything? Okay, that's good. Actually, that's better. We'll keep people guessing, and then they'll have to buy the third book to find out what's going on. Well, I think on that, we're going to wind this down. Thanks so much for coming on. Again, the book is called Ascendant. My guest is Susy Smith. The book is out, and do you have a website you want to give out?
Yes, you can find me at susysmith.com, SUSYSMITH.com, or on Facebook.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. This was fun and nice meeting you. Best of luck with your book series. Hope it does well.
Thank you. Appreciate it.